Hello, and a warm welcome to World This Week by latestlaws.com. This is a weekly program, so hit the bell icon to get notifications for new videos. I will be taking you through the significant orders and judgments passed by various courts in the country and some important international news from this week. Let's begin with the Supreme Court this week. In a sharp rebuke to the continued misuse of criminal proceedings in what are essentially civil disputes, the Supreme Court castigated the invocation of criminal law for the recovery of money, terming it an abuse of process. The bench, comprising Justice J.B. Pardiwala and Justice R. Mahadevan, expressed dismay at High Courts disregarding well-settled principles while entertaining such cases under their writ and inherent jurisdiction. The Supreme Court, while hearing a suo motu matter concerning alleged deforestation in the Kancha Gachibowli forest region of Telangana, voiced serious concerns over the state's actions. Chief Justice of India B.R. Gavai remarked that the use of bulldozers to clear vast forested areas overnight could not be justified under the guise of sustainable development. I have always supported sustainable development, but this cannot mean bringing in 30 bulldozers overnight to raze down forest cover, CJI Gavai observed during the proceedings. The Supreme Court expressed concern over a party in person's insistence on appearing virtually despite being offered full assistance, including legal representation and travel expenses, for physical appearance. A bench comprising Justice Surya Kant, Justice Deepankar Datta, and Justice Ujjal Bhuyan was hearing a miscellaneous application when the petitioner, appearing without legal representation, requested permission to argue her case via video conferencing. When questioned by the court about her reluctance to appear physically despite being extended logistical and legal aid, the petitioner cited personal responsibilities, distance from Delhi, and occupational constraints as reasons for her inability to attend in person. In an extraordinary exercise of powers under Article 142 of the Constitution, the Supreme Court dissolved the marriage between IPS officer Shivangi Bansal and Sahib Bansal, while ordering the former and her parents to issue an unconditional public apology for causing prolonged harassment and incarceration of the husband and his family members. The court directed that the apology be published in the national edition of the renowned One English and One Hindi newspaper and on all social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and other similar platforms within 3 days. Now, let's get an overview of the High Courts. Taking strong exception to prolonged incarceration without trial, the Delhi High Court has granted bail to an alleged gangster who remained in custody for over 8 years under the Maharashtra Control of Organised Crime Act, citing a manifest and continuing violation of his fundamental right to a speedy trial. In a significant ruling reaffirming the legal consequences of anti-national speech, the Jammu and Kashmir High Court has held that raising slogans against the nation amounts to unlawful activity under the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act and cannot be dismissed as a trivial or harmless act. The court ruled that such speech, particularly when aimed at inciting public sentiment against the sovereignty and unity of India, is legally punishable. The High Court of Calcutta has commuted the death sentence of 2 men convicted of gang rape and murder of a 5-year-old girl to life imprisonment without the possibility of remission for 60 years. A division bench presided by Justice Debangsu Basak upheld the conviction of Fagun Mandi and Rabindra Raut by the Jharagram Sessions Court, which had found them guilty of gang rape, aggravated penetrative sexual assault, murder, kidnapping, abduction of a minor and destruction of evidence. The High Court of Rajasthan stayed further proceedings in a defamation case against Drishti IAS founder Dr. Vikas Divyakirti going on in an Ajmer court. Justice Sameer Jain stayed the proceedings after Divyakirti sought the defamation complaint filed against him in the subordinate court dismissed. Moving on to international news this week, in a landmark advisory opinion requested by the United Nations General Assembly, the International Court of Justice declared that failure of a state to take appropriate action to protect the climate system may constitute an internationally wrongful act. In a development with wide-reaching implications for international environmental law, the ICJ provided an authoritative interpretation of states' legal obligations concerning climate change. The 500-page opinion holds that states may bear international legal responsibility and face claims for reparations if they fail to take adequate measures to mitigate climate change, and such failure causes harm to other nations. In the end, we have miscellaneous news. A district court in Madhya Pradesh has sentenced a man to death for the premeditated murder of his adoptive mother, invoking verses from Hindu, Islamic, Christian, and Sikh scriptures to underline the moral gravity of the crime. Special Judge L.D. Solanki delivered the verdict against Deepak Pachauri, 25, who was convicted of murdering 68-year-old Usha Devi, the woman who raised him as her own. The court described the crime as one of moral collapse and cruelty beyond comprehension. Thank you for watching and have a nice day. This is a weekly program, and to get more information, please check the description box for weekly updates. Like and subscribe to our channel.